This call is now being recorded.
Good morning to all. Whether all of you are able to see the screen and is the audio is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I request all of you to kindly mute your mic and turn off your video for better bandwidth. Let us start today's session, Bloom's Taxonomy, Higher Order Thinking Skills in Electronics and Communication Engineering. This week, we are covering the module microprocessor and VLSI, two subjects, as per the weightage available in the GATE syllabus, and also with respect to the other competitive exams. Let us start one question from GATE 2015 from microprocessor subject. In GATE 8085 microprocessor alone is asked in the syllabus up to now. Very soon 8086 will also be included in the GATE. However, as per the current pattern, we are going to discuss 8085 microprocessors. From the given question, in the 8085 microprocessor, the register which store the result of an addition and the overflow bit are four choices are given: B and F, A and F, H and F, A and C. The register A, B, C, D, E, HL are the general purpose registers. F is the flag register. Any guess? Any of you can give the answer in chat box. It is a simple and direct question. The question is, we are doing addition. Also, there is a overflow bit available where the answer of addition and overflow bit will be saved. That is the question. Any guess? After addition, usually the answer will be stored in accumulator. So one of the answer is accumulator. The overflow bit will be stored only in flag register. So the correct answer is A and F. That is accumulator and flag register. So B is the correct answer. Now another question from GATE 2015. In the 8085 microprocessor, which one of the following instruction changes the content of accumulator? The meaning of the question is, some of the instruction will affect the content of accumulator. Some instruction will not affect the content of the accumulator. So here four instructions are given. We have to identify while executing which particular instruction the content of accumulator will be changed. That is the question. Any guess? The first instruction, move B, M, means a data is moved from a memory location to B. Meaning of M is memory location. The address of memory location is given by HL register pair. So from a memory location, the data is transferred to B register. That means accumulator is not at all affected. Second instruction, PCHL. That means the data stored in HL register will be loaded to program counter. PC is program counter. HL is register pair, 8-bit plus 8-bit, 16-bit. The 16-bit value is transferred to program counter. So B is also not affecting the content of accumulator. C instruction, J in Z means jump on no zero. It is checking for a condition, previous condition, whether the flag, zero flag is set or not. When no zero, it is jumps. The last instruction SBI means subtract immediately. BE is the immediate data, 8-bit data. The meaning of the fourth instruction is the accumulator is subtracted with the given immediate data BE. After subtraction, the answer is stored in accumulator. So in general, after most of the arithmetic and logical operations, the answer will be stored in accumulator. That is the clue. So SBI is subtract immediately. So it is an arithmetic instruction. So the D is the correct option. While using subtract, the answer will be stored in accumulator. That means whatever the data already stored in accumulator is changed. So for arithmetic and logical instructions, accumulator content will be modified along with flags. So this is the clue. The next question from GATE 2015. 4 small programs are given. The question is, while using 8085 microprocessor program, which program will calculate the product of two numbers stored in register B and C? So assume the data is already stored in register B and register C. Our objective is to multiply the value available in B and C. In 8085 microprocessor, there is no instruction available for multiplication. The logic we have to follow is repeated addition. We have to add one number repeatedly another number of times. So repeated addition is multiplication. For example, if you want to multiply 5 cross 2, we have to add the number 2 5 times. So if we add the number 2 5 times, we will get 10. So 5 cross 2. So this is the logic we are using in 8085. Now 4 programs are given. Out of the 4, only one is correct. Any guess? Which program can do the multiplication of the data available in register B and register C? Let us analyze. The correct program is C. I will tell the reason. Let us see the program. So move immediately A, 0, 0 means 0, 0 is loaded into accumulator. Then loop is a label, it is not an instruction. Add C means already in A we have 0. The content available in register C is added. How many times we are adding? According to the loop number of times. How many times this loop will be executed? We are decrementing B. Till B reaches 0, the loop will be executed. So the meaning of this program is we are adding C repeatedly B number of times. After completing B number of times, decrement B will become 0. This will come out of loop. So this one is the correct program. The clue is, first of all, we have to use an add instruction for multiplication. If you see the first program A, there is no instruction for add at all. So it cannot perform multiplication. If you see the second program, again there is no add instruction available. So it cannot also perform the multiplication. The C and D part having add instruction. So C and D, anyone may be right. But already we have seen C is correct. Now we will see what is wrong in the last one. Here we are incrementing B. So actually the B have to be decremented. Our objective is to add the value available in C B number of times. For example, the value available in C equal to number 2. The value available in B equal to number 5. That means I am adding the number 2 5 times. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. After completing 5 times, the answer will be 10. So this is the correct logic, very simple logic. I am summarizing. We are adding one number. That one number, I am taking it as the value available in C register. The number of times given in B register, we are decrementing B until it reaches 0. This is another question from GATE 2016. 8 kilobyte ROM with an active low chip select input to be used in 8085 microprocessor based system. The ROM should occupy the address range 1000 to 2FFF. The address map is given. The starting address is 1000. The ending address is 2FFF. The address lines are represented as A15 to A0. A15 is the MSB. Which one of the following logic expression will generate the correct chip select for this ROM? So we have to select the chip select signal using a logic for the given address map. The starting address is 1000, the ending address is 2FFF. Any of you can give the answer? I think this question is already discussed on Monday also. That is why I have given under quiz. The idea is we have to take the starting address written in binary form, ending address written in binary form. So this is A0. So up to A11, it can be any value. A0 to A11 can vary from all zeros to all ones. Now the question is only with respect to A12, A13, A14, A15. So by using A15, A14, A13, A12, we have to write the instruction. The value can be 0001 or 0010. So only for this address, the chip select signal should be selected. Accordingly, we have to write the expression using Boolean expression. So A is the correct answer. So this question already discussed on Monday. Let us go to the next. In 8085 microprocessor, the content of accumulator and carry flag are given as A7 and 0. If the instruction RLC is executed, then the content of accumulator and carry flag will be. The question is, we are using one instruction called as RLC. The meaning of RLC is rotate the accumulator in left direction without carry. I am repeating once again the meaning of the instruction RLC. Rotate accumulator in left direction without passing through carry. The initial value of accumulator is already given, A7 in hexadecimal. We have to convert this value to binary. We have to perform the rotation operation in left direction. After rotation, we have to find what is the answer in hexadecimal. Any guess? Just convert the value A7 to binary and then rotate in left direction. So A7 in binary, mainly for microprocessor subject, the knowledge on number system is must. A represented as 1010, 7 represented as 0111. Now we are rotating this value in left direction without passing through carry. That means this I am reading from the LSB 111 00101 available here. 111 0010 shifted, rotated in left direction. The last bit, the MSB bit, that is coming to the LSB. Already in MSB we have 1. This one is coming to the LSB 0th bit. This is 1. And all other bits are simply rotate to the left direction. The value available in MSB is copied to carry, but this carry flag is not rotated. That is the important meaning. RLC means the value in accumulator is rotated in left direction without carry, means The carry value will not be rotated. But whatever available in MSB will come to carry. Whatever available in carry is lost. So after rotation, we have the answer 0100. That is 4. 4 ones is F. So 4F. The answer is 4F in hexadecimal. This is the value available in accumulator, and the value available in carry flag will become 1 because the MSB is transferred to carry flag. So the answer is accumulator value will become 4F, carry will become 1. So the knowledge on number system, then the meaning of RLC. These two things are important for answering this question. GATE 2017, another interesting question. The clock frequency of 8085 microprocessor is 5 MHz. It is the assumption. Actually, clock frequency of 8085 microprocessor is 3 MHz. As per the question, we have to assume it as 5 MHz. The time required to execute an instruction is 1.4 microseconds. This is also an assumption. For one particular instruction, it is assumed as the time required to execute the instruction is 1.4 microsecond. Now the question is, how many number of T-states are needed for executing this instruction? T-state means the time period for one clock cycle. The clock frequency is given as 5 MHz. From this data, we have to calculate what is the value of one T-state. After knowing what is the value of one T-state, we have to calculate for executing with a time of 1.4 microsecond, how many T-states are required? We have to calculate. This is also simple question, small mathematics. So the data given, clock frequency is 5 MHz. If the clock frequency is 5 MHz, the time period for one clock cycle is 0.2 microsecond. We need 1.4 microsecond to execute one instruction. So in one clock cycle, we take 0.2 microsecond, but what we need is 1.4 microsecond. So 1.4 divided by 0.2, 7. So the answer is we need 7 T-states to execute an instruction which takes a execution time of 1.4 microsecond. 7 T-states means 7 clock periods. T-state means the clock period. One clock period equal to one T-state. For this question, we need 7 T-states for getting the time of 1.4 microsecond with the assumption of 5 MHz clock as per the data given in the question. Another question from GATE 2017. 5 instructions were executed on 8085 microprocessor. The first instruction, MEI A,33. The meaning of this instruction is move immediately A with 33. 33 is an 8-bit number. That 8-bit data is stored into A. Then move immediately B with 78 hexadecimal. So another 8-bit number is transferred to B. That means A is having a data 33 in hexadecimal, B is having the data 78. Now we are using add B. Add B means the value available in A and B will be added. After adding the data, we are performing CMA. CMA means complement accumulator. Complement accumulator means all the 8 bits will be complemented. Zeros will become 1, 1 will become 0. The last instruction is ANI 32 in hexadecimal. So we are performing logical AND operation with the given data. That means already we have an answer in accumulator. That answer is performed with logical AND operation with the immediate data 32. I am summarizing the operations. The first 2 instructions initialize A and B register with given data. Third instruction adds the above 2 data. After adding, the answer is available in accumulator. The value available in accumulator is complemented. After complementing, whatever available in accumulator is performed with logical AND operation with the immediate data V2. So I have given only the steps to perform all these operations in binary. You can calculate the final answer. I have given the final answer 10 in hexadecimal. You can work out in evening time to verify the steps. I am summarizing the data 33 and 78 are added. Then it is complemented. The final answer is performed with logical AND operation, means bitwise AND operation. I am giving the answer directly without the numerical calculations. I think this answer also already discussed in previous session. So I am not giving the steps. Another interesting question, all of you listen carefully. How will you replace the two NAND gates in the circuit with one 3 to 8 decoder without changing the memory size or the memory address? Assume the decoder has one active high enabled E1 and one active low enabled E2. The diagram is given. It is 8085 microprocessor. We have a memory chip. The memory chip is using A0 to A10. That means it is using 11 address lines. If it is using 11 address lines, what will be the amount of memory? Any guess? Before answering the final questions, let us have the meaning of the question clearly. The first chip uses 11 address lines. If it is using 11 address lines, what will be the memory capacity? It will be 2 power 11. What is the value of 2 power 11? 2 power 11. Any guess? This is not, that's right. 2048. 2 power 11 is 2048. That means 2 KB. So this memory IC is 2 KB. Next IC, it is also using address lines A0 to A10, 11 lines, 2 power 11. So the first IC is 2 KB memory. Second IC is also 2 KB memory. So the answer for the first question, what is the total size of memory? 2 KB, another 2 KB. So 2 KB plus 2 KB, 4 KB memory. This is the answer for first question. Next question, what are the starting and ending address of the chip? So this IC is having 2 KB memory. 2 KB memory can start from any address and it can end with any address. We want to find what is starting and ending address. The clue is we have to use the chip select line. The chip select line we have used on NAND gate. This IC will be selected if the chip select bar equal to 0. When the output of this NAND gate is 0, this chip is selected. When the output of this NAND gate is 0, the output of this NAND gate is 0 when this line is 1 and these three lines are 0, the last line is 1. Or in other words, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. 1, 0, 0, 1 means this output will be selected, this IC is selected. For the next IC, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. So 1, 0, 1 on 0 is the input, means here we will get 0. So using this clue, we are going to find the starting and ending address of this chip 1 and chip 2. The clue is what is the logic we are using for chip select. I am repeating, the chip will be selected if we get a value 0 here. The NAND gate will give output equal to 0 when the all inputs are 1. So as per the previous step. Here the input should be 10001. So the values are 10001. After this, A0 to A10 can be anything, starting from all zeros to all one. So from the chip select line, we are identifying A11 to A15 as 10001. A10 to A0 can be any value starting from all zeros to all ones. We are writing in binary. If you convert to hexadecimal, we are finding the answer. The starting address is 8800. The ending address is 8FFF. So the answer for the B part, the starting address is 8800. This is the starting address. This is the ending address, 8FFF. So the answer for B part, this memory starts with 8800 and ends with 8FFF. After finding the answer, we can verify our answer also. If we subtract 8800 from 8FFF, the answer will be equal to 2048 in decimal. This is available in hexadecimal. If you convert these two numbers to decimal and if we subtract, we can verify it is 2048. So that is the clue to check whether our answer is correct or not. Now, the C part of the question. What are the starting and ending address of chip 2? The same method. This chip 2, the line A0 to A10 can start from all zeros, can end with all ones. The value of A15 to A11 should be 10110. So 10110 should be the value, and the remaining lines can start from all zeros and can end with all ones. If you convert to binary, the first line, this is 1011 is B, all values are 0. So B 000, starting address. The ending address 1011 is B, 0111 is 7, then 4 ones are F, another 4 ones are F. So for the second IC, the starting address is B000, the ending address is B7FF. So we got the answer for the first three parts. For the part 1, the total size of the memory is 2 KB plus 2 KB, 4 KB. For the B part and C part, we have obtained the starting address of IC1, ending address of IC1, starting address of IC2, ending address of IC2. Three parts are over. Now, the last part. Are the memory chips are RAM or ROM? So by seeing this IC connections, we can find it as ROM because we are doing only read operation, output only enabled, we are not doing write operation. So it is ROM. Since we are doing only read operation, there is no write operation given in the circuit diagram. Now another question, the original question. We want to replace these two NAND gates with 3 to 8 decoder. So this chip select we can generate using different methods. The given method available in the circuit is 2 NAND gates are used for chip select for IC1 and IC2. Now we want the same logic. The operation of the circuit, the address should not be changed without affecting the operation and address. We want to replace these two AND gates with 3 to 8 decoder. How to do it? Now we will answer to the last part. One tool given is the decoder uses two enable signals, high enable E1 and low enable E2. Now we can use the 3 to 8 decoder. We can connect A13, A12, A11 in the 3 to 8 decoder. That means A13. A13 already we have seen this value should be 0 for selecting the chip. A12 is also 0 and A11 is 1. That means 0, 0, 1. We are giving the input 0, 0, 1 to the 3 to 8 decoder. If we give 0, 0, 1 as input for the 3 to 8 decoder, the output line 1 will be selected. Output line 1 with active low signal. So this line 1 should be given as a input for the chip select of the first IC. So the clue is we have to use 3 to 8 decoder and we have to connect A13, A12, A11. If we connect the 3 lines 0, 0, 1 value, when 0, 0, 1 is available here, this line is selected. So this line if you select to the chip select, the NAND gate logic is replaced with the output 1 of the 3 to 8 decoder. At the same time, the value of A15 is connected to high enabled, it is 1. A14 is connected to low enabled, that is 0. So A15 and A14 are 1 and 0 and the remaining values A13, A12, A11 are 0, 0, 1. 0, 0, 1 means line 1 is selected. So the line 1 is connected as a input in this place. This is one part. Similarly, we want to find what is the input we have to collect for the second IC without affecting the logic of the circuit and address map. For that, already A15 and A14 are connected to enable lines. A15 with high enable, A14 with low enable. Now A13, 12, A11. A13, 1, A12, 1, A11 should be 0. 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 0 means line 6. So line 6 will be selected, active low output. So this line 6 should be connected as a input for this chip select. So actually the question is verifying the knowledge of the participants, whether they are able to replace the NAND gate with decoder or not. So this is the actual question. NAND gate is the simplest method. Now I am summarizing. This NAND gate will give output 0 when I am giving input 1, 0, 0, 1. Now this 1, 0 is available here. 0, 0, 1 is available here. 0, 0, 1 is corresponding to the output 1. This output 1 should be connected here. This is one answer. Another answer for the next NAND gate 1, 0, 1 on 0. So this 1, 0 already connected here E1, E2. 1 on 0 is connected here 1 on 0. For the 3 to 8 decoder, if the input is 1 on 0, the output line 6 is selected. So we have to connect the line 6 in this place. For memory interfacing, usually we have two types. One is using the NAND gates to connect the chip select bar. Another one is using the 3 to 8 decoder. This is basically memory interfacing problem. Now, question uses NAND gate. The solution proposes how to replace NAND gate with the decoder. In the 3 to 8 decoder, we have 8 outputs. Only 2 outputs we are going to use. The output 1, we are going to connect it for first IC. The output 6, we are going to connect it for second IC as per the previous explanation. Next question. The contents of register B and accumulator A of 8085 microprocessor are already given. The value 49 and 3A in hexadecimal. The contents of A and status of carry flag and sign flag after executing the instruction SUBB. This is very simple question. I am explaining the question again. In register B, we have the value 49 in hexadecimal. In register A accumulator, we have the data 3A. We want to perform SUBB, that means subtract B. We are performing A minus B. After performing A minus B, the answer will be stored in accumulator. The step is convert this hexadecimal to binary and perform subtraction. Finally, again convert to hexadecimal or convert the data to decimal and then perform subtraction. or we can perform hexadecimal subtraction also directly. The very important thing is we should be familiar with number systems, hexadecimal, decimal, and binary. Now we will go to the solution. In A, we have 3A. In B, we have 4,9. We are performing 3A minus 4,9. Here, the subtraction is performed in hexadecimal directly. So A minus 9. A minus 9 is 1. A equal to 10. 10 minus 9, 1. And 3 minus 4 we cannot do, so we are getting a borrow. Here if we get a borrow in hexadecimal, it is equivalent of 16. So 16 plus 13 is 19. 19 minus 4 is 15. 15 is written as F. My hexadecimal subtraction may be difficult for few peoples. If it is difficult for you to perform in hexadecimal subtraction, please convert the number to binary and subtract, or convert to decimal, subtract, finally convert your answer to hexadecimal. Now for simplicity, I am doing in hexadecimal directly. A minus 9, A is 10, 10 minus 9, 1. And we are getting a borrow 16 in hexadecimal, the decimal value. 16 plus 3, 19, 19 minus 4, 15. 15 is written as F, so we are getting F1. After subtraction, the value of accumulator is F1. So the answer is F1, one part. We have to find carry and sign flag also. The carry will be set. Why the carry will be set? Because the carry class will act as borrow flag also. In case of addition, it will act as carry. In case of subtraction, the same carry flag will act as borrow. Then sign flag. Sign flag, it is determined by seeing the MSB bit. The MSB F is 4 ones. MSB is 1. MSB is 1 means sign flag is also 1. So after performing the subtraction, the content of accumulator is F1. Basically, the knowledge on number system is verified here. So if you are not familiar, please go through number systems from Digital Electronics book. After subtraction, we are getting F1. This is one answer. The answer F in binary is 4 ones. That means MSB is 1. Whenever MSB is 1, the sign flag will set. So sign flag is also 1. While performing subtraction, we are getting a borrow. Since we are getting a borrow, the carry flag is set to 1. So the correct answer is, after subtraction, the content of accumulator is F1. Sign flag is set because of MSB equal to 1. Carry flag is set because of the borrow.
Sir, actually in previous question we are using 2 decoders, sir.
Yes. No, single decoder. We are using only one decoder.
But,
you want explanation? If you want explanation, I will explain again at the end of session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Let us complete. I will explain again. We will have clarification also. No problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
The next question. 8085 microprocessor based system uses 4K into 8-bit RAM, that is 4 KB RAM. The starting address is given, AA00 in hexadecimal. Now we want to find the address of last byte. It is very simple question. The starting address is given, size of memory is given. We want to find the last address. The starting address AA00. Size of memory is 4 KB. What is the value of 4 KB? 4 KB equal to how many bytes? 4 KB equal to how many bytes? Please give your answer in chat box. Four KB is 4096 bytes. For a microprocessor subject, we have to remember 2 powers also for saving time. So 4 KB is 4096 in decimal. That value we want to add with the starting address. So the starting address is already given in the question, AA00. 4096 bytes means in hexadecimal triple F is equal to 4096 bytes. So the starting address AA00 plus number of bytes, that is 4096, it is written in hexadecimal. After adding, we are getting B9FF. Again, I am repeating, we can have another method also. We can convert AA00 to decimal. With the decimal value, we can add 4096 in decimal. The final answer also we can convert to hexadecimal. Since whether the screen is visible or not?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, I will check. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the question is, starting address is AA00. The size of memory is 4 KB memory. The answer we want to find is the last byte of the address of last byte of the memory. So we are taking the starting address AA00. The number of bytes available in the 4 KB memory is 4096 in decimal. 4096 is triple F in hexadecimal. After adding, we are getting B9FF. So the last byte of the address of the last byte of the memory is B9FF. So for those who are not familiar with hexadecimal addition, please convert the starting address AA00 to either binary or decimal. Similarly, convert this 4096 also to already in decimal to binary if you want. So perform the addition in binary or decimal in whichever number system you are familiar. Finally, convert your answer to hexadecimal. So for simplicity, we are doing the addition in hexadecimal directly. So the last address is B9FF. So the answer is C part. If the starting address is AA00, the last address is B9FF for a 4 KB memory. Simple question. The knowledge on number system is verified here. So the correct answer is B9FF, that is C. Now another question. An IO peripheral device is shown in figure. This is to be interfaced with 8085 microprocessor. To select IO device in the IO address range D7 to D4 to D7, the chip select bar should be connected to the output of decoder. The question is, we have a IO peripheral. The address range also mentioned in the question. We need the address range D4 to D7. That means we need the address to be D4, D5, D6, D7 as per the question. For that purpose, we have to connect chip select bar. So this question is also using decoder only. The decoder also already given in the question. The input for the decoder also already given. Now we want to find the decoder is having 8 outputs, 0 to 7. Which particular output of this decoder should be connected to this chip select bar for satisfying the given specification. The given specification is we need the address range D4 to D7. So we need D4 to D7. The decoder connections are also already given in the question. We have only one option. Out of the 7 outputs, which output we want to connect to chip select bar? 4 options are given. Again, out of the 8 outputs, the question is using only 4. Output 7 or output 5 or output 2 or output 0. Let us analyze. Now, for this input, the enable signal A7, A6, A5 should be 110. So So only for 1 on 0, here output will be selecting this. Next, the remaining values A2, A3, A4. The value of A2, A3, A4, we want to fix as per the given address range D4 to D7. So D4 can be represented as in binary form. D is written as 1101, 4 is written as 0100. This is the starting address. Ending address is D7, 1101 in binary for D, 0111. That is the value of 7 in binary. So this is the starting address, this is the ending address. So for this starting and ending address, if you see the value of A2, A3, A4, it is selecting 101. So 101 means the output 5 will be selected, because when the value is 101, decoder will select output 5. So this output 5 should be connected to the chip select bar. So only when the value of input is 101, the 5 will be selected. At that time, if we connect 5 here, automatically this IO peripheral will take the map D4 to D7. I am summarizing. The IO peripheral should be selected for the given address D4 to D7. From the connection, we have identified that when these values are 101, this is connected here 101. When it is 101, output 5 is selected. So only if we connect output 5 to the chip select bar, the given specification will be met. So the correct answer is output 5 should be connected to the chip select bar. Now, the last question from microprocessor. The following instruction is executed using 8085 microprocessor. The first instruction LXI H, 8A79. The meaning of LXI H is load the register pair HL immediately. We are loading H and L register with the immediate data 8A79. Next, we are moving the value of L to accumulator. After moving the value of L to accumulator, we are adding H with accumulator. Add H means H and the accumulator is added, the answer is stored in accumulator. Next, we are using DAA. DAA means decimal address accumulator, that will convert the answer to decimal. The hexadecimal answer will be converted to decimal. After converting accumulator value to decimal, we are performing move A, H. That means the answer available in accumulator is moved to H register. Finally, we are using PCHL. That means the value available in HL register pair is transferred to program counter. The question is, from which address the next instruction will be fetched? The next instruction will be fetched by the address available in program counter. The address available in program counter is defined by the value available in HL register as per the instruction PCHL. So we want to find what is the value of HL. That HL value is stored in PC. That PC value, program counter value, will decide next instruction to be fetched. So I am giving this question to you as practice. I am explaining the steps again. The value 8A79 is stored in H and L register pair. Each register can store 8 bit. The value available in L is transferred to A. Then the value available in A is added with H and answer is stored in A itself. Then accumulator value is adjusted to decimal using DAA, decimal address accumulator. Then accumulator value is moved to H. Now the H value is available here and the L value is not at all modified, only H value is modified. Please note, L value, original value, whatever available in the first instruction available, So find what is the value of H and L. That value is stored in PC. So 4 answers are given, and you can practice for finding which is the correct answer. So it needs the understanding of what is the value of H and L. Then L value moved to A. Then we should know how to perform addition. Hexadecimal numbers are given. Perform addition in hexadecimal or convert to binary and do it. Then the number should be converted to decimal. And after converting to decimal, the value is transferred to H. H new value available, L original value available, H and L is transferred to PC. That H and L, 4 answers are given. You can find it. We stop with this. We have VLSI questions. Possibly the VLSI questions we will meet with tomorrow's session. Now today's session is over with respect to the microprocessor. The remaining part, VLSI, I think it will be better if we take it as a separate session. So it will be merged with tomorrow's content. The microprocessor part, since one of the participants have doubt in one particular question, I am explaining that once again. So those who have doubt in that particular question can stay in the meeting. For others, let us formally close the meeting now. Let us go back to the previous question. One of the participants is having a doubt in this particular question, so I am explaining this again. So only for those who have clarification can stay in the meeting. For others, it is optional. If you want, you can leave the meeting. So I am explaining this question once again. So in this question, a circuit is already given. Now, the total size of the memory we have seen. This is 2 KB, this is another 2 KB, 2 KB plus 2 KB, 4 KB. The starting address of the first IC also already we have seen. After writing the binary value starting and ending address, we got 8800 and 8FFF starting and end address for IC1. Then B000, B7FF starting and end address for IC2. Now, as per the main question, we want to replace these two NAND gates with a decoder. And in the question itself, an assumption is given. The decoder is having an enable signal E1 high enable and enable signal E2 low enable. Now I am coming to the decoder part. Decoder is having enable, this is high enable. That means 1 means this decoder is selected. The second enable low enable, 0 means it is selected. We have connected A15 and A14. A15 is 1, A14 is 0. So 1 and 0 means this decoder is selected. So condition number 1, A15 should be 1, A14 should be 0. This decoder is selected. So for both these logic, A15 is 1, A14 is 0. So we are satisfying both the gates, A15 and A14. The remaining 3 lines, A13, A12, A11. Now I am explaining for first IC. This IC will be selected when the value of A13, A12, A11 are 0, 0, 1. So when these 3 values are 0, 0, 1, the line 1 is selected with active low signal. Chip select bar is also active low. So this line we have to connect in this place. The output 1 should be connected in the first IC chip select bar so that the circuit operation is not changed and address map is also retained. In the same logic, the E1, E2 already we have connected 1 and 0. There is no difference for A15 and A14. 1, this should be 0. These values should be 1, 1, 0. Then only here output will be 0, this chip will be selected. So for 1, 1, 0, here it is connected 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 0 is 6. The output 6 is selected. The selected line output 6 is connected in the second IC chip select bar. So the answer is this first NAND gate should be replaced with the decoder with output 1. If you take the output as Y, Y1. Similarly, the second NAND gate should be replaced with the same decoder output Y6. Hope this answers you. If you have further doubt, you can ask. Okay, I hope that everybody have followed it. It is based on memory mapping. We start with this. Tomorrow, VLSI part will be continued. The remaining part will be merged with tomorrow's session with tomorrow faculty. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.